Ladies and gentlemen, football is coming back and I cannot wait. We are here at the Signal Iduna Park. It's Dortmund versus Bayern, the likely top two in the Bundesliga. Although that's not set in stone. Gladbach, Leverkusen and Leipzig are all still in with a chance of competing for the crown of Bundesliga champion. But yes, when I say football is back, I am referring to the Bundesliga. It's the first of the major leagues in Europe to go back into training. There is no official set date as for when games will be resumed. However, it is expected to be middle to late May, with all games being behind closed doors. And I believe I am right in saying that all games will be played behind closed doors until next year, as it currently stands. Whether that means the next footballing year or 2021, I'm not entirely sure, but I know that that is currently the official line. But what we do know, and what I do know for sure, is that teams are back in training. Now, how are you in training and in self-isolation? How are you in training and in lockdown? Well, what they are doing is the teams are training in small groups. A maximum of 6 players with 1 physio and 1 coach. So that is a group of 8 people. As much as they can, keeping their distance. It's no contact training sessions at the moment, and that is how they are beginning their, in a sense, pre-return to season training. But we know all games will be played behind closed doors. I think the Serie A may soon follow, and it's looking more and more likely that the Premier League will be behind closed doors as well. So we will await with bated breath reports of that, but it's nice to know that football is coming back. Naturally, with what's going on, the importance of football is a lot less. But that being said, it would be a great distraction. Not that we'll be able to attend games like we used to, but to have that live sport to watch, to have the game we know and love available for us. I don't know about anybody else, but I recently found myself watching Belarusian Cup football because I missed it, and the standard was absolutely abysmal. So to see some top flight games, yes, it's important that we don't risk people's lives, but in a sense there has to be some balance, because we are seeing a lot of businesses go bust, and in sport, clubs are businesses ultimately, and they are places of employment for lots and lots of people, and they're part of the establishment, part of the culture, part of the infrastructure, and we can't afford to lose these. And so it's almost essential for a lot of clubs that games return to help their survival. We've already seen in the English game well-established clubs racking up ridiculous sums of money in debt, and because the football club model is just simply, for the most part, is not sustainable. Teams are spending the money that they've been awarded. Teams are spending the money that they know they get awarded at the end of the season through TV rights, through this, that and the other, before they've even got it. Now, that's not sustainable in any walk of life, but that's how football is. And that's what the model has been for so long. And with TV deals, how they are, TV companies, again, are businesses, and they will rightly demand refunds if contracts are not filled in. As much as it's a dark time, a strange time, and a time when we need to come together and support each other, ultimately that doesn't happen in the business world, and you need to look out for yourself and all of your staff. And people need jobs to go to when all of this is over, and a lot of people who have worked through it, more power to them. Hope they're all staying safe, and hope businesses are doing all they can to give proper protective equipment if needed, and proper payments to people who have been furloughed, like myself or anybody else in this dark time. Effectively, there has to be contingency, and we don't want to come back into a world where everyone is jobless, or everyone is in debt, or companies have ceased to exist, and so there is balance. It's always going to cause controversy. A lot of people will say we don't need football back, it's too much of a risk, and it is a contact game, and it could all go wrong. It could quite easily go wrong. If one player gets it and doesn't know it, on their way to a game, one leads to another, and maybe it's not wise. But I think with the quarantine lockdowns in place, the governments have done as much as they can to lessen the curve, start to bring infection rates down and everything like that, and I think sport could be a great motivator and a great unifier in this dark time, and that's why I am looking forward to the return of Bundesliga. Bundesliga is great, exciting football. Bundesliga players have also played their part in helping their clubs, helping their communities, helping the fellow staff at their clubs. Obviously, that's been one of the controversial parts of this lockdown. You had Liverpool taking the government furlough for all of their staff, despite their multi-million-pound playing staff and all of this, that and the other. You've got Norwich putting all of their staff on the government furlough and then going and signing a new player. Now, the fee hasn't been announced, and he's only coming from a league in, is it Luxembourg? So he's not going to be a massive sum of money, but that's still, they've gone and spent money securing another player while saying they can't afford to pay their own players. It's quite a strange one. Over in the Bundesliga, Union Berlin, all of their players, they're one of the smallest outfits in the Bundesliga. They've only just come up, the first time in a long time. All of their players have said they will go without pay in order to ensure the survival of the club, which is a massive gesture. These players who won't be earning the big bucks you expect of footballers, being a Bundesliga club now, they will be earning a good sum, I'm sure, but it won't be close to the numbers you'd expect when we talk about professional footballers. We all talk about the £200,000-300,000 a week players. These guys will probably be on less than £200,000-300,000 a year, which is still an astronomical sum of money when you put it into the perspective of what people like the NHS nurses get paid for one, but that's a topic for another day. Other teams, such as Eintracht Frankfurt, they've taken a 20% pay cut to again assist the club with the cost of ensuring all of its other staff in all the other departments are paid in full. There's thousands of people that go into the running of these professional footballing outfits. It's not just the players, it's the people that turn up on a Saturday in the early morning and spend the whole day stocking the concession stands, giving out the hot and cold drinks to all the fans in the turnstiles. It's those who stand outside in all weathers to sell the programmes. It's those in the marketing department making sure that people know that the matches are on and selling the tickets to them throughout the week. It's the guys doing the statistical analysis, the data from all the training sessions, all the way up to the car park attendance. Everybody's got a role in a football club, and they generate so many jobs, football clubs, not to mention the amount that they create in tourism and entertainment revenues for the governments. That's, again, one of the hot topic issues, especially over here, is players. People calling out players, why aren't they paying more, why aren't they taking wage cuts, why aren't they donating to charities and all this. They already do that, and when people say about what they're contributing to the NHS, things like that, the NHS is government funded, and players will be taxed more than most. I saw a player's wage slip, it was on Twitter the other day, I think it was Carlos Tevez, and in a month he was taxed nearly £400,000. So when players say that that's tax and national insurance, so when they say they're not contributing, they actually are, not to mention the charitable contributions a lot of them make. The Premier League players have come out and they've responded to that, and they've set up this cause. So players together, so that's fantastic. Anyway, Bundesliga's coming back. Don't have an official date yet. Looking to be May, behind closed doors games with other leagues follow. What do you think? Should football come back? Should it not? Should it wait? Obviously, we've got this timeline when we have to get games done by. We need resolutions, especially with regards to Champions League places, titles like that. Bigger picture, maybe it's not important, but I think sport unites us all. It'll give us something to watch while we're stuck in our houses, and it is a sign that things will come back to normality once we get out of all of this. Thank you again for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to hear more from me. And please, let's start some discussion. Who do you think is going to win the Bundesliga? Bayern on top, Dortmund second, few other teams in there. Have you ever watched the Bundesliga before? Are you looking for a new team to follow? Comment down below. Let's get some discussion going. Let's talk about football, because it's coming back. And normal life will be back soon, hopefully. Thank you. Goodbye.